Are you ready?
A Shot of Wrestling, episode 242. And wait, we no.
So take a shot, what? Is that the message you got? We about to go live, are you ready to rock? So take a shot. Oh, so take a shot. Oh, yeah. I'm a street breaker. I'm a heartbreaker. This is my dawn. I'm a moonbreaker. Rick Flair, Nature Boy, about to seek and destroy. It's an SOW. Let me hear you make noise. Take a shot, what? Is that the message you got? We about to go live, are you ready to rock? So take a shot.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 242 of A Shot of Wrestling. I'm your host at Michael J. Putty, joined, as always, Mark Schwann. Marcus, how you doing today?
So we're just dropping the whole Hollywood. We're dropping your favorite actor. You're dropping it, we're dropping it all. We're just going to see me, Mark Schwann, just like an average Joe. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, I told you that last week. No more intros for you because it's gone to your head.
It's not gone to my head. It's just who I am.
Speaking of intros, joining us this week, last second, got some free time on his hands, Green Man himself. Abel, what's going on?
Green Man rising from the dead like the Undertaker. What is up, my man?
What is up, average Mark Schwann?
Yeah.
How are you doing, buddy?
Yeah, just average Mark Schwann. I'm like
Marcus.
Robert Downey Jr. now with that Iron Man suit. What's up, Putty? You talk to me.
No, I'm saying it's Marcus. It's average
Oh,
Marcus.
sorry.
Marcus.
Our average Marcus Schwann. Got it. The third.
Not Marcus Davenport Schwann the fourth.
The fourth.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Who's the third then?
Fantastic.
That was the third the whole time.
No, you were the fourth. I was the fourth, I believe.
I think you're always
Like I
adding
said-
a number to me. Next week will be the fifth.
I don't think so.
MJP, you look great. I must say, it's been a while since I've seen you. You're sporting a new shirt, which I love.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We're 15 minutes late to the show because Abel is talking about his love for Putty's shirt.
I love his shirt.
At least someone does. I wore a new shirt for the last 4 weeks, and Mark hasn't said one thing.
Because
Michael
I
J.
fucking
Putty,
hate you.
with that shirt, you will not walk alone.
Preach. Thank you. At least somebody has my back.
Not me.
You've been missed. Yeah, I know. Because you're a fucking asshole.
Average Mark. Average
Say
Mark.
something?
But it's nice to see you guys via Skype, Zoom, whatever this is.
Zoom.
Nice.
Sponsored by Zoom, unofficially.
First time Green Man is emanating from his new digs. He left the penthouse. Green Man's got a full blown house now,
Yeah.
Like
Welcome to Long Island,
Yes.
Abel.
like an adult.
Yes.
Welcome.
Yes, I've done some grown-up things during our quarantine time this past year. So yeah, we moved out to Long Island. Things are a lot different out here, by the way, guys. They
trust
speak
me.
Long Islandese. First
Yeah.
of all, they speak a completely different language. It's Long Islandese. You speak very nasally, and you accentuate your words.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Please don't
And
pick
then-
up the
but-
accent. Don't do it.
Yeah, but Mark, if you're really upset, then you speak really fast and you speak really
Oh,
nasally.
that's me.
Really good. Yeah. So it's like one extreme or the other. The other thing is out here, there's no like one-way streets. Everything's a two-way.
Pretty much.
So
yeah.
there was a car parked in front of my house the other day, completely facing the wrong way, messing up the flow of the street.
I was the king of doing that. I always used to do that.
Like if I were to drive down my block during that time period, I would have been like, wait, am I going the wrong way? Like, what's going on?
That's an
A lot of
asshole.
things
That's
different
asshole.
out here on Long Island.
Asshole.
Abel,
move.
I'm pissed off that we're in a pandemic because like if it wasn't for this, I'd be out there showing you like the Long Island ways. I'd be showing you all the good spots and everything, especially where you are, man. I know that area very well.
It's your old stomping ground.
Used to hang out there quite a bit, man.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
Well, if I see any babies that look similar to you, I'll make sure to let you know.
Don't
No.
tell us what, though.
Oh, well, keep that in the DL. I'd rather not know.
Great.
Putty, what's wrong, man? Are you the only one that doesn't have the Long Island connection?
I'm fine with that.
Well, listen, I'm hoping one day I'm just going to go to the supermarket and woo, you know it, going to bump into Zack Ryder or Kurt Hawkins.
They don't live there anymore.
True,
asshole?
True story. Carson used to like bump into him quite a bit at the bars.
I know. It happens.
Yeah.
It happens. We have NYWC right around the corner from here. We
Park.
have Creative Pro Wrestling right around the corner from here. Like, it's a possibility.
Dude, no joke, man. I used to live not too far, like a town away from Deer Park. So
Really?
I could have actually,
From the Sportatorium.
Yeah. Did not know that at the time, but
Yeah,
things could have been very different for the Schwann and Ole.
it could. I always find it interesting at the time of people's lives that they explore independent wrestling. Like we came into independent wrestling a little bit later in our years, like as big WWE fans. And then we're like, holy shit, there's like this wrestling right around the block from me,
Right.
And only if we would have known the classics, you would have seen Michael J. Putty, Mark Schwann, the classics you guys would have seen back in the day.
If only.
Remember Abel at WrestleMania 22? I was reading Shawn Michaels' book, and I was like,
yeah.
It kind of got me motivated, although I knew it was too late. Maybe I should like change my whole life around, get in shape, and try to become a wrestler. Of course, it was too late. Didn't fucking happen. But then I was watching Bailey on the Broken Skull sessions, and she made a good point. She was going to one of these conventions, and she was introduced to indie wrestling at a young age, something she didn't know anything about. So she went to this indie show. She found out they had a school. Like, oh, I want to do this. So when she became 18, she signed up, and here we are today. So I wonder, Abel, if me and you were in high school and found indie wrestling, do you think we would have made an attempt?
Brother, I think I would have found independent wrestling when I was in college. I think my life would be completely different nowadays. We used to have some crazy street matches just outside in the quad.
Yeah, I'm right. Legendary.
So it totally could have been possible. And
your living room, when you cracked me in the head, unprepared, straight, dead ahead with a steel chair. I couldn't block myself. I couldn't protect myself.
Took it.
Hurt for weeks.
Split decision. Should I put the hand up? Nope. I'm going to take it.
Because we're on the same team. We're on the same team.
Yeah.
You turned on me.
I got distracted. That's what it is. If you and me ever became a tag team, I'd be a wild child. I'd be hitting you left and right. You just would have to get used to it.
Oh, dude, Abel would turn on you in a heartbeat.
So I'm laying in his parents' living room, barely able to move. And Abel's like, "Oh, bro, don't worry about it. Hold on one second. I'll be right back." I hear him running upstairs. He comes back. Yo, bro, you okay? I haven't moved. Are you okay? I'm like, I don't know. I can't move. He's like, "Oh, bro, I got you. Hold on." And he pours fake blood on my head. Not an ice pack, not Tylenol. He pours fake blood all over my head.
This is gonna look good, brother. Sell it.
And not even like 5-10 minutes.
Some color.
5-10 minutes later, his mom walks in, sees a bloody mess on her living room floor. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh my god, bro.
That was the first time Michael J. Putty met my mother, Mrs. Villamar.
Yeah.
That was the first time. No. Oh my god, that's horrible.
First impressions.
I wish Carson was on right now because he would tell you about some classics I would have at our friend's basement that I would put on our wrestling show. I would do promos beforehand, and I'd wrestle on a basement floor.
Oh god.
Oh, dude, it was great.
Cement. Just hear that body smack the cement.
Dude, I would take the bumps, dude. I would take it and just bounce back up.
Bumps.
I do drop kicks off that. It's crazy.
But for those of you listening out there, if you haven't found independent wrestling, please search it. The great thing about the internet right now is that you can easily follow your favorite wrestler who could just wrestle in your backyard, like right around the corner. There's independent wrestling going on. Cool. And even right now, we're doing a wrestling podcast, and there's still so much more that we haven't even explored. So if you want to share some of your favorite wrestlers or wrestling companies, please, how do you say that, Mike? Dial it up, 619-343-3005.
Close enough.
And drop us a line on Shot of Wrestling hotline there.
Well said.
Great plug, Abel. Well done.
Let me tell you,
good to have you back on.
It's like I didn't skip a beat,
You have like that marketing gene.
Yeah.
That Putty desperately needs.
It's like he can't turn it off. He's always marketing. He's always got these knows what to say, knows what to do. It's like you and the douchebag gene. You always know what to say, like, ruin everything. You always make about you. Always some douchey comment, ruin the mood.
Putty hates marketing. He hates it.
No, I hate Mark Schwanning.
Okay, dick. You want to get to the news? Can we talk some wrestling?
About time, please. Enough about you. Let's get into some news.
It's time for In the News with Michael J. Putty and Mark Schwann.
All right, guys. So WWE officials are dying to get Karrion Kross onto the main roster. He's on the fast. Karrion Kross. What did I say?
Karrion.
All right, let me start that over. All right, guys. So WWE officials.
Schwann. Oh, sorry. 3 takes, Sean.
I'll wait.
Don't wait too long. 'Cause I'm leaving all this in.
Are you really?
Can we move on? We got timed on this Zoom thing.
Okay. All right. So WWE officials are dying to get Karrion Kross into the main roster. He's on the fast track to head to either Raw or SmackDown. No word yet on when this will happen, but they're trying to get him through this NXT run as fast as possible. Now, guys, do you think Kross is ready for that big push?
Without a doubt, absolutely he is. I mean, the guy was money from the moment he got signed. We saw one of his last independent shows for ICW over in New Jersey, and he literally just killed it. The guy is a superstar. And with Scarlett Bordeaux on his side, I mean, this is a winning combination. I'm surprised he even went to NXT. He should have just started in the main roster to begin with. My question to you, Mark, is do you think the main roster needs a Karrion Kross right now? Because that's a heavy hitter.
Karrion Kross, I think, would be a main event player for sure if he goes to the main roster. He's got the look. He's got Scarlett Bordeaux. I mean, they both have a phenomenal look, great character, incredible in-ring work, home run all around. I love that little teaser that he had in NXT with Edge. Goes to show, I mean, he doesn't back down from anyone. He doesn't care if you're a legend or not. I don't know, man. I want to disagree with you, Abel. I don't necessarily think that he should have gone to the main roster right away. I think he would have gotten lost in the shuffle because as good as he was in the Indies and in Impact, and
Lucha Underground,
and so forth,
and worldwide superstar,
but he wasn't as known to like the regular casual WWE fan. So the best way to
how
do that,
great would it have been, Schwan? How great would it have been for someone who maybe you do not know in the public eye to come in with such a mysterious aura about him that makes you be like, what? Who the hell? Who is this guy?
I think they played it right, though. I think they played it right, putting him in NXT. Granted, put him through the fast track, of course, kind of like what they did with Drew McIntyre when he came back. But, Kross, I think he still has something left to do in NXT. I'd like to see him get the strap back one more time to actually have a run with it. But that's just my only 2 cents. I mean, you're right. I mean, the dude could have gone yesterday, and I think he would have been fine. Putty, your thought?
I agree with everything Abel said, except NXT. He definitely should have spent some time at NXT. He's killing it down there. Big fan of Karrion Kross ever since I first laid eyes on him in Impact and then in the Indies. And I love how Randy Orton called him out on Twitter. He's waiting for him to get to the main roster.
Oh, yes.
I'm just looking forward to that feud. Randy Orton, Karrion Kross, sign me up. Take my money, please.
That feud. Take my money now.
You think Edge and Randy Orton is amazing. Can't wait for Karrion Kross and Randy Orton.
Let me tell you, Karrion Kross is going to have a bright future. Anyone that's worried about like an NXT call-up being a bust for like Kross, not going to happen. Not going to happen. That dude is dynamite. I think he's going to be right up there. Probably better than what Keith Lee has been doing. Probably better than any call-up.
I agree.
Period.
Yeah.
And that's no knock on anyone that's come up from NXT. I think he just crosses that damn good.
Hands down. I've been saying that for a while now, and it's only a matter of time.
Only a matter of time. Let him get through his NXT. I agree. Maybe get him back in the title hunt.
Do you hold him off till SummerSlam or wait till the crowds come back later on in the year?
Oh God!
Because with that intro, you want a crowd reaction.
You want a crowd reaction for sure. Agreed with that, especially with that entrance. Whew. And imagine if it was like unannounced too.
Yeah.
So with a roster so large as the WWE has, you were saying earlier how you feel like he would have gotten lost in the shuffle. Do you think right now he would still get lost in the shuffle because there are so many people?
No, because his build was that strong, and I think actually his build has been transcending NXT. I think a lot of people are knowing who this guy is right now. They've invested money into him, of course. Again, with the entrance and the vignettes, there's a lot of buzz to him. And I hate to say it, but we all know, wrestling, there's a lot of pervs out there, so it doesn't hurt the fact that someone like Scarlett Bordeaux there with him.
So beautiful. So beautiful, that Scarlett Bordeaux
smoke show.
And just think about it. The entrance by itself is original. You have her coming out mouthing the words to the song, and then the camera angles, the smoke, the music, Fall and Pray, it's such a it's one of those songs that you can't get out of your head. It's catchy, it pumps you up. You see this guy perform in the ring, right away you're hooked.
people know who Karrion Kross is. They know his backstory. NXT fans do. We do, of course. Like you're always talking about the casual WWE fans. Now, when he does get called up to the main roster, do you put him in the main event picture right away, or do you give him the IC or US title run to help introduce him to the casual fans?
I think he's one of those people that could probably make a push right away.
Straight to the top.
I think I would want to play it smart though. I want to play the long game with him. I want to give him not necessarily squash matches with local talent. I just think give him squash matches with like some names. Let him destroy someone like Dominic Mysterio, like in a quick fashion.
That's not.
Stop.
That's not.
Stop.
That's not surprising.
That's ridiculous.
Let him destroy some people right away to show that this dude is a killer. No pun intended. And
this guy is a killer, regardless. He would destroy anybody. I think he has the know-how, the in-ring workability, the persona. This guy has been taking every persona, anything that anybody has given him as a company, and he has made it his own. I was thinking about this while you were talking.
Look what happened when Shayna Baszler got into the main title push so fast when she got called up. Where's she now? Where's she now?
Listen, but if you start
with Nia Jax,
if you start at the top,
I care about Nia Jax.
You have great talent for him to work with. Kross versus McIntyre, amazing. Kross versus RKO, amazing. Kross versus The Fiend, amazing. He is just that type of person that you want to see in the main event picture. And listen, you're talking about the long game. People go ups and downs. Sometimes you start from the bottom, you work your big way up. The other story that could be told is you started from the top and then you work your way down to make yourself way back up again. No,
Abel, I think Karrion Kross, if he were to go to the main roster and go for a main event push right off the bat, I think he would do well. Don't get me wrong. But I just think, we've seen too many times when we see, like, for example, the latest Keith Lee going for like a main event push right away, and they have to put the brakes on that. They're gonna have to be careful. I think they're learning the lessons from this. I think no matter what, Kross will do really well, but maybe you do the safe route and let him dominate a few people right away to get him his shine.
Okay.
Barry's not Barry's, but even if he like squashes Rey Mysterio right off the bat, people will be paying attention. But that's right. I'm the one doing the news. So. The next news.
Hold up. Karrion Kross is a bigger name than Carlito. Carlito's debut, he won the IC championship. I wouldn't mind seeing that for Karrion Kross as well.
All right. I see what you're saying there with that. We'll see. I think it's just the latest ones that have been pushed to that main spot were so fast, even though they had a great NXT run, didn't do so well. I think Kross can overcome that, but that's just my own 2 cents. But moving on. So, looks like we may see Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar 3 at WrestleMania. Not this year, though. They are talking about doing it either WrestleMania 38 or 39. Does this make sense to do? Wouldn't it be the best time to do it this year if they're going to pull this off?
I think regardless of when they pull it off, we always talk about making sure that when you book a big money match like this, you don't leave any money on the table. And, going back for the third match, there's still money to be made there. These are 2 main event stars. And it's just like you got to think of it as if when you go see your favorite band perform, you want to see the hits. Now, everybody is not as fortunate as Michael J. Putty and I, who have been to many WrestleManias.
Oh, God, take a shot every time they say they've been at WrestleMania.
But there's still people who may want to see this live. So I agree. If it's going to happen again, it probably should happen when there's fans in the stadium.
But, here's the thing, though. Storyline-wise, though, I think it does make sense to do it more so this year because, you have Paul Heyman with Roman Reigns. Obviously we know the history with Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar. I think it would tell an interesting story there if they were doing something like that. I don't necessarily know. Could we see Paul Heyman stick around with Roman Reigns for next year or two? I personally don't see that working. What about you guys?
I see it happening. Roman Reigns went on record saying he would love to be paired with Paul Heyman the rest of his career.
Oh, wow. Okay.
With this trajectory of his character right now, I definitely see him being paired with him because Paul Heyman's not really doing anything. He's just his lackey, so to speak. So I can definitely see that going on till next year. The storyline with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar makes no sense right now, except the whole Paul Heyman thing, because Brock Lesnar's out. Last time we saw Brock Lesnar, he lost the championship at WrestleMania, like handedly. So why would he come back to get another title opportunity a year later? How are they going to work that out in 2 months? So give it. I don't mind it.
Storyline wise, they could do a lot of things with that. I mean, Brock Lesnar could hit like a personal nerve. Yeah, of course, man, they could do it.
No. Like, first of all, I don't think anybody wants to see this match again.
You don't care about this match at all, even with the Paul Heyman factor in there.
No, that's the only thing enticing me, and I want to see it with a long form storytelling. Wait till next year. I'm okay with that. This year, I don't mind being put off.
And gentlemen, well, one thing we haven't discussed is the Roman Reigns that would be facing Brock Lesnar is not the same Roman Reigns that faced him in the first 2 matches. So we are in for a completely new style of match between these two. And honestly, if we got the Roman Reigns that we have now back in the other 2 matches, I think everybody would have been like, I want more Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns.
1,000% agree with that. It's going to be a whole other level. It's kind of like what I've talked about with the rivalry between Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. It's been very different. We've seen that match before. We've seen this rivalry before, but yet it's hitting different this year because of the character changes between both of them. Brock Lesnar, his expressed interest coming back as a face, so Lord knows how he'll work like that. With Roman Reigns, he's hitting his best game possible with this new character that he's doing with Paul Heyman. So I think it'll be a very compelling storyline. If it sounds like when they do this, but time will tell. Moving on, though, Cesaro has signed a new contract with WWE. Apparently, his role will be similar to Natalya from the women's division in that he's going to help make new superstars. There are those out there who believe Cesaro deserves more of a spot, that he should be a champion already. Is this the right move for him? Should he have maybe explored other options?
I don't think there would have been more lucrative money-making options, though, than being in the E. For him, he's already established himself with the company. It reminds me a lot of how I see Kane. Kane always used to be the wrestler who, he had his few moments at the top, but for some reason throughout his career in the WWE, he coasted. He didn't make himself too big to be the top star consistently, but he never fell way below to be even considered as someone who would be given a pink slip. And that's where you get Cesaro. Cesaro is a great in-ring technician. His body of art speaks for itself. His resume already speaks for himself. He's someone that I do not see anywhere outside the WWE for the rest of his career, I would say.
Well, obviously not anymore. I mean, I don't necessarily know how much he's locked in for. I know he's a little bit on the older side now at this point. But, yeah, I mean, he seems like he's going to be a WWE guy. Seems like he's more about – I don't know him personally, of course. I'm just speculating here. You know, it's more about the paycheck right now, more about the security. I don't necessarily know if it's at Sanok on AEW or Impact. He would have definitely gotten a bigger push, probably in either promotion. But, you know, it sounds like the role was made very clear to him, and he was okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on in his head. Cesaro can go. I mean, he's somebody.
Cesaro can go.
He's somebody I've always had an eye on. Love watching his matches. I felt like he deserves and would love to have seen him get a run with the briefcase. But, you know, he's getting older. I definitely don't see him going to Impact. He'd be a huge fish in a small pond there. In AEW, I don't know. Maybe because the money's there. So maybe he is.
Not as much as WWE, though.
Who knows? So maybe it is about the money. Maybe it's about security, because maybe he can transition into maybe a backstage role there. Maybe a coach in NXT.
Very true.
This guy's very there. So who knows how the tail end of this contract was, or the incentives he has laid out and not written form there. So I think there's a smart decision. If he went to AEW, it'd be a huge loss for WWE.
Yeah.
So and
1,000%, because he does. You brought up a great point there, Putty, because the dude does have an amazing mind for wrestling, and I wouldn't be surprised if he went down the trainer route or even the agent route down the road once his in-ring career is over. And that would be a huge get for the younger talent, especially when it sounds like he's going to be playing like a player-coach type of deal in his new contract.
As a Cesaro fan, it sucks. He definitely deserves more. He definitely deserves a run in the main event picture, because If he doesn't get it, what more do you have to do to get in the title picture? He has a talent, he has the charisma, he has the look. I mean, what more do you need? But it didn't come to fruition in WWE. So let him do what he does best. Let him do his role, because I read today that he was supposed to have
Nakamura's spot in the gauntlet.
Blew everybody away in that gauntlet match.
Yeah,
huge talent, and I'm happy to see where he goes. Because if you beat Cesaro, you're going to beat Cesaro. You're going to squash Cesaro. You're going to have a great 4 or 5 star match with Cesaro. And if you beat Cesaro,
anyone could.
It's a huge get. So I'm all about this. I think it was a great decision.
Like even John Cena, they had a match years ago. I think it was like a main event on Raw, I believe.
Yeah,
and John Cena got on the mic afterwards, like, "Yo, this guy is the real deal."
Hell yeah. You guys mentioned earlier about the longevity of a career, and we know wrestling and pro wrestlers don't really have a great exit strategy. You guys talked about it on the show before, So right now, Cesaro has to think about his future, think about where he is in his career, and we have had the privilege to talk to a lot of wrestlers, and it does come to a certain point where you get so far, and because of the passion that you have for the business, you feel like you are succeeding through others. And that is sometimes just as gratifying, if not more. And I think that's probably where Cesaro could be in his career, where he's like, you know what? I think I've done what I could do, and I know I could still go if I'm given the ball. But why not build more Cesaros instead of just focusing on me?
That's a good point.
I believe Tyson
it's a very good point.
I believe Tyson Kidd is
I'm right. It's a good point. That's why I said it.
Has said something similar to that, and it makes sense. Yeah.
But here's the thing. I mean, with Cesaro, you see how he's being booked right now. He's got a lot of momentum. He's not helping a younger star right now. I mean, he just defeated 39-year-old Daniel Bryan
a couple times
on SmackDown.
That's because Daniel Bryan. That Daniel Bryan's influence on the creative team. He wants to push Cesaro.
So where is this going for Cesaro? Is he going to win like a mid-level championship?
I think
could he be like what you said, Abel? I mean, I thought that was a great comparison before when you compared him to Kane. Kane did get a championship run again later on in his career.
It could be possible. It could be completely possible. Listen, we know the power of Paul Heyman. We know what he did alongside of Brock Lesnar. We know what he's doing alongside of Roman Reigns. He was, Cesaro is a Paul Heyman guy.
Yes, facts.
They partnered Heyman with Cesaro already. And if at that moment he did not get the push that he needed to get to that top level spot, I mean, that ship to me has sailed. And I'll be hopeful if he gets the run later on in his career. That'd be great. But in my opinion, I think he's better off focusing on building more Cesaros for the business in the future.
I mean, the business will be better off. But that's all the news that I have. I do actually have a new show coming out on Tuesday called Hollywood.
Look at this guy. He's ready for the plugs.
Before you continue,
the plugs.
Yeah.
2 news topics I want to breeze right through. Rest in peace, Butch Reed. He passed away today.
Yes.
Sad news. He was a great wrestler and iconic tag team with Farouk, better known as Ron Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're all inclusive here. Love is love here when you hear your family. So shout out to Tyler Rex for finally living him, coming out as transgender. I think it's now Gabby something. That wasn't an easy decision. He told his story briefly. I read some of the article about he would put his daughter to bed, then he would dress up in women's clothing, dress up as a woman because he felt more comfortable that way. And his wife was very supportive of it. And then one day,
I mean, that's awesome.
One day she came in and goes, you can't keep doing this. So he got up, took the women's clothing off, went to the bathroom, was ready to inject himself with a bunch of testosterone. She came in and said, that's not what I meant. You can't keep hiding who you are. And so not only be true to yourself, but what a great support system he has with his wife, who married to this man for 20-something years, this big, brawny, muscular man who's now becoming a woman. So it's not easy to support that. It's not easy to come out like that. So props to Tyler Rex, Gabby, whatever her name is now. Be who you are. Love is love, and congratulations.
Cheers to that, buddy. Very well said.
Thank you.
Cheers. Yeah, and if you want to learn more about that story, you could definitely follow her journey. She's on Instagram at Gabby Tooft.
That's
Gabby
Gabe TUFT. She also has been doing a swarm of interviews. She was recently featured on an interview with Extra, where she talks a little bit about all of the changes, how hard it is. She did an interview with Wrestling Inc. also, talks about how the transition has been. There are people who are very open and welcoming to it, but, there's other people who are not as well. And that's definitely something we don't support here on Shot of Wrestling.
Don't talk about
like people. Michael J. Putty said, love is love. And when you're here, your family. So best off to you, Gabby. And we look forward to hearing and seeing some great things from you in the near future.
You both are married. Just imagine your wife's coming to you and said, "Baby, I just pains me to say, but I feel more comfortable as a man." It's such a mind F, and it's just this woman is supporting her, and God bless both of them, and good luck in the future.
Well, you said it perfectly. I mean, love is love. I mean, she loves obviously the soul of this person, of Gabby. Not necessarily like, the man that was Tyler. She loves the person. So, I mean, that's beautiful.
So best of luck to both of them. So, Mark, now you can continue with your brand new segment.
Yes, my brand new segment, Hollywood's Corner. It's a new show. It's going to be on YouTube on Shot of Wrestling. It's going to be premiering on Tuesday. But my first guest, a very special friend of ours on the show, we have Eric Jayden.
The Godfather.
Play a quick clip, if you will.
You're battling your own demons.
Yes.
You're battling your own case right here. It's not Corona. Talk to us about how you're feeling and what you're going through.
All right. So it's common knowledge by now, I would hope, that everybody knows I have cancer. I have stage 3 sarcoma. It's a cancer that started within the tissues, and it started for me in my lower back. It started in the form of a tumor over the 2020 during the pandemic. Had surgery to remove 3 tumors they had found, and out of the one tested out positive for cancer, the other 2 were negative. And I'm going now close to I'm going close to a year now fighting this. It's been very, very tough. It's been very, very emotional. It's been very, very trying on me. I have an enormous amount of support, and I appreciate that from the fans. I had made it public, because I just wanted people to know what I was going through. And I'm a very private person, so it was a very tough decision to make it public. But I wanted to let people know what I was going through, my battles. I just didn't want to become how can I say this? It's going to sound bad either way, but I didn't want to become a Facebook posting that Eric Jayden just passed away and nobody knew anything about it.
It's time for this week's TV Takedown.
So obviously some very heavy stuff there, seeing a different side of Eric Jayden, talking about his battle with cancer. That was a tough interview, man. And, I'm glad he got on the show, was able to talk to us about his journey. So for more on that, check out our YouTube page, Hollywood's Corner, with Eric Jayden as our very first guest again on Tuesday.
Yeah, can't wait to listen to the whole thing. We're big fans of Eric Jayden here. He's helped us out tremendously. We would not be where we are without him. That's why I like to call him the Godfather of a Shot of Wrestling. And so our thoughts and prayers have been with him for this whole journey, and happy he's finally coming out to share his story. Definitely check it out on YouTube, Shot of Wrestling. Can't wait. Good job, Mark.
Absolutely. Thank you, my man. He also talks about the future of the Satsujin Squad, which actually stunned me on the air because it was news to me. So
snap.
It was a good one. It was a good one.
Can't wait. Gentlemen, this past weekend was the Royal Rumble. One of the most favorite shows of most wrestling fans to watch.
It's my favorite show.
Indeed.
Favorite pay-per-view of all time. Time.
Great, man. What you think? What was your takedown on the event?
I mean, like I just said, I look forward to it. It has high expectations for me. I was beyond proud of the women's Royal Rumble match. The amount of, we talk about, and I thought about you guys a lot because you guys talk about how stacked the Impact Women's Division is, how great the Impact Women's Division is.
It is.
And yeah, granted, it is. But this Women's Royal Rumble really shined on how dense the roster of the WWE, the women's roster is. Their roster is full of so many future WWE legends.
It's a deep roster for sure.
It is. I mean, full of great talent. When you mix together the NXT women, the Raw and SmackDown women, I didn't see anybody who did not belong in that Rumble this year. You know, when the women's first Royal Rumble happened, I was like, I saw a lot of nostalgia in the people that they were bringing in, and not so much of that current talent. But this year, man, they had a great Rumble. So kudos to the women.
Probably one of the best women's Rumbles I've seen, which isn't saying much. It's only the third or fourth one, but
I mean, dude, they were all like consistently really good, the women's Royal Rumbles over the years. Yeah, granted, I mean, you're right. I mean, it's early on, but Bianca Belair won. That was a huge moment. I was shocked.
Well deserved.
You know, I personally was calling Rhea Ripley for her to be the winner. I'm not disappointed. I feel like both women ended up strong in there. They look great. Now, Bianca Belair, I mean, we're going to see her most likely going against Sasha Banks, guys. What do you think?
Take my money, please.
A lot of fans are really excited about that. Bianca Belair has been someone that people have been wanting this opportunity to go to. And, you know, if you betted on her, you probably didn't make too much money because everybody was pretty much betting on Bianca Belair that night.
Yeah. I agree with Mark. I thought it was going to be Rhea Ripley, too. I said it last week on the live show. I felt like it was
close. It was very close.
She needed it. I don't think Bianca Belair needed it right now, but okay, great. I'm all in. I think we all won here. I think Rhea Ripley losing is not a loss. I think she won too because the performance she gave and
very strong performance.
Won't hurt her.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It was well done too, and like how they got Charlotte out too, because you know at one point it did seem like Charlotte might be the one taking it down, and then you hear a lot of angry fans out there for sure. Me not being one of them, but but you know it was a good tease. It was a very good tease
and fantastic play by eliminating Alexa Bliss right before she transformed. That was well done because if she transformed and got eliminated, that would have killed a lot of momentum she had going on. But right before she transformed, I was wondering how are you going to do that because when she transforms, that's pre-taped. How are you going to do that in the Rumble? And I got my answer right away because she got fucking eliminated. She didn't even do it by Rhea Ripley of all people. It's fantastic. I thought it was a smart move too, because like, you know, hey, we've all seen Raw. I'm sure they studied the table too. You're just going to stand there and you're just going to let her transform? Get her the fuck out of there. That's awesome. Yeah.
It's like a horror movie. It's like, let's run to a dead end right where the killer will get us. No.
You know,
the only smart one there.
You're absolutely right. The wrestlers nowadays definitely are a lot smarter. Because if you think about it, the wrestlers back in the day, when you saw The Undertaker sit up, that was their moment. That was their cue. You better run. You know, but no, they were just like, oh my gosh, he's getting up.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Let me stay here. Let me get my
stop that fucker out. Bring him down.
Yeah.
No, so I thought that was a good Rumble all around, especially the Women's Royal Rumble. My takedown moment, though, I have to say, man, as cool as it was to see Bianca Belair win and get her moment, I got to give it for Edge. It was the guy I wanted to see win, who I didn't think was going to win, especially finding out after we went live that he was going to start off being number one. I was like, now there's no way for sure now he's going to win. The dude did it. 47 years old. Comeback story, man. Fucking love it.
Oh my gosh, guys. We were just talking about the great moments in Royal Rumble this past weekend, and you give me the worst moment in the Royal Rumble this past weekend.
Oh my God.
What is going on?
Scrooge.
We're talking about the
here.
Good things. We're talking about the good things in the Rumble.
Can I just interject here?
Please.
Abel's here for a reason, and he's about to unload on you, Mark Schwann. But we're talking about good things right now. Can we just talk about how fantastic it was to see back to back? Stand back. There's a hurricane coming through. Followed by my man, future Hall of Famer, Christian. Oh, man. Back to back. Abel texted me right away. He's like, are you walking out right now? I'm like, hell fucking yeah, I am. Because not only were they in the Rumble, they were back to fucking back.
Thank you for bringing up Christian, though, Putty. I mean, that was...
So happy.
He looks great.
Oh, man.
That was a beautiful moment, too. I love the exchange that they had. When Christian's music hit, you just see that look from Edge. He's
smile,
down on the ground.
Finally some relief, some help.
Yeah. It was awesome. The hug that they had, it was a feel-good moment. Dude, Christian, you're right. Looked great. Looks like he didn't
Welcome
miss a
back.
beat.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, man.
One more match.
And he made it to the Final Four.
He did. Did not see that coming.
Did not see that coming at all either.
So awesome. When Randy Orton went out right away, I was like, maybe Edge probably come in the end, and Randy Orton would screw him over. I'm very happy. And when Randy Orton came back, I'm like, oh man, don't tell him he's gonna win like this.
I thought that was good. Putty. I thought my premonition was going to happen right there. It's like, oh my God, here we go.
Green Man, the floor is yours.
So listen.
What was your problem? What was your problem with the Rumble?
Could we just talk about these surprise entrants and these legends that come in for the nostalgia purpose? It was cute and all when I was younger, but for some reason now that I'm older and I got money riding on this Rumble, I do not want to get me a Carlito. I do not want to get me a Hurricane. That is a waste of my number. That is a waste of my money.
So,
they are not going to win.
You hate Christian going into Royal Rumble too?
Listen,
did you hate that?
Christian gives me a little bit more believable. Maybe I'll get him to the Final Four. But there's
How is
no
it
way
different?
Christian.
How is it different?
There's
How
no
is it
way.
different?
Okay, listen. There's no way Christian's going to win the Rumble. Carlito's not winning the Rumble. Hurricane is not winning the Rumble.
Your logic makes no sense. That you just contradict yourself within 2 seconds.
Listen, I said it. I would have liked to have Christian just because I would have loved to see him in the Final Four, but he is not winning the Rumble. There's no way. This nostalgia that people get
story-wise, it makes sense.
When you don't got money on this game. Let's talk about it.
Price is Right losing corn because Abel's so out of left field here. It's like, the surprise returns, the legends coming back are what makes the Rumble. Who's coming out next?
Preach.
First of all,
the surprises.
The women's roster aren't 30 women deep, so you're going to have.
was not winning the Rumble, by the way. It was nice to see her, but thanks for coming. You're not winning. A waste of a spot.
Who's she going to fill up? There's not 30 women on the roster.
There's plenty of more women that are back there.
Name them.
Put me some Martinez. Throw.
So instead of legend,
Mercedes Martinez.
You want to throw more NXT women in.
I want to feel like everybody that's in the Rumble has a shot to be the winner, to be the main event at WrestleMania.
But that's not the case. As a wrestling fan, you're smart man. You do not know that that's not the case.
Putty, you know what he said to me off there? You know what he said to me off there?
Please.
This is what he thinks the Royal Rumble should be. It should just be like people that haven't gotten their shine yet.
I totally agree. I agree.
I think that's just a battle royal that you have on Monday Night Raw.
That's true.
That's what you have. A Royal Rumble is supposed to be the creme de la crop. It's the Royal Rumble. It should be champions, mid-carders, low-carders, legends.
The creme of the crop. That's right. The creme of the crop. Some old has-been legend
Edge
is not going to win the Royal Rumble. He's not going to win the Royal Rumble.
Edge is not has-been legend. Edge made a comeback. For you, all you're speaking right there, when Shawn Michaels made a comeback after his injury, he should have never been to Royal Rumble again after he came back?
Yes, he should not.
He should.
But listen,
we're talking about this great moments in Royal Rumble.
Listen, we're talking about this year's Royal Rumble. I just had to digress a little bit and talk about how a waste of a number that is. But let's talk about your winner, your grand prize winner that got your titties all nice and hard and your pee-pee all the way up. Oh, so good. Edge wins.
I have a heart. I'm a human being.
My wife. I'm going to have sex tonight. Woohoo! Because Edge won. Listen, buddy. Okay. Edge did not need this win. I posted it on social media. Edge does not need this win. And listen, I am sorry, gentlemen. I lost you a lot of followers out in social media world because people did not disagree.
Don't worry about it.
People did not agree with me. And listen, this is what this community is all about. We don't have to agree with each other. We just got to respect each other. And if you can't agree with my viewpoints about it and you feel like you got to leave, well, then we didn't even want you here in the first place. Okay.
Right, Abel is drunk.
But let's talk about Edge. He did not need the win. Edge, like you said, is a big main eventer. He is someone that he just declared himself in the Royal Rumble. He
Edge also at the same time did need a win. Like he said it in his promos of why he needs a win. And
he could have easily declared himself in any title picture post Royal Rumble. The other thing that I didn't like about the Edge show at the Royal Rumble is it was just an extension of the best wrestling match ever. That's all it was. It started with Orton and Edge, and
you do commentary.
It was like, geez, please.
You do commentary. You're embarrassing yourself. It's all about telling a story. That's what WWE and that's what wrestling is about, telling a story. It would have made no sense if Edge would just come back after an injury from his last match with Randy Orton to go into Royal Rumble and not to finish that story or continue that story, if you will.
I feel sorry for every hardworking wrestler out there who made me believe that they had a shot. I feel bad for Daniel Bryan. I feel bad for Cesaro. I feel bad.
Daniel Bryan is 39 years old and he wants to retire soon. What are you talking about?
Listen, I feel bad for all these people who deserve that opportunity. I even feel bad for Matt Riddle. Matthew Riddle would have been a great Royal Rumble
Matthew Riddle has a long way to go before he wins the Royal Rumble.
This could have been his year.
Could have been.
But no. Big Shot Edge, Big Shot Legend coming here, taking the young boy spot.
Now, Matt Riddle wins. Break me down that story, please. How does that story go? Other than just having a really cool match.
Oh, wait. I love seen cool matches. I'm sorry. Do you not like seeing cool matches?
I don't like seeing cool matches. I don't like seeing cool matches when it's out of nowhere and it's for no reason. Tell me a story, because I can see cool matches all the time, all I want. But you tell me a story, get me emotionally invested, so I can remember the moments. I remember more moments than I do of good matches.
All right, TJ Marconi. All right, now you got a story to tell. You tell me a story.
Oh my God, Putty, can you please back me up here?
Something I've been saying for the Rumble for almost 5 years of this show is something like, I hate when it's predictable. I hate when we know who's going to win, especially with people who win who don't need to win. So I kind of see what Abel's saying there. There's a lot of people who win the Rumble who don't need to win the Rumble. Give it to someone like Cesaro, who needs the elevated to the main event roster.
Love it. Yeah.
But to disagree with what Abel's saying, do you think...
What? No. That's the end of your statement. I think it's...
Let the man finish, Abel.
You said you want to make it believable that people who enter the Rumble have a shot of winning, correct?
Yeah.
So you thought Ricochet had a chance to win. You thought Elias had a chance to win. You thought Dominic Mysterio had a chance to win.
I would have loved to see Elias win. I would have loved to see that.
Oh, hold on 1 second. My bullshit meter's going off. Okay.
Wait a second. I'm a big Elias fan. I love Elias.
You think he's ready for the main event picture? You think he's ready for that push for the main event? Never winning a belt before, a mid-card belt. You think he's ready for the main event picture?
Oh, and you know what story they would have been
Dominic
able to tell
Mysterio
afterwards?
should main event WrestleMania. And fuck you. Happy to see Carlito back.
There's the bullshit. There's that bullshit right there.
Listen.
So something I talked about last week on the live show was like, when you were in the chat room, I think you heard me say this, something you've been saying since the beginning of the show, since episode 1. These old guys coming back, these part-timers coming back, are taking an opportunity away from someone who's there every year.
But is Edge part-time? He's been showing up on Raw, SmackDown, NXT even. And he even said afterwards, he's like, well, I'm in championship picture now. I got to show up every week. And he's proving that right now.
Mark just finished my sentence for me, Mark. Abel, so whatever. I guess I'll just shut the fuck up. Let Mark talk.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry. Is that what you're going to say, buddy?
Yes. Thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We saw him on all 3 shows. We saw him in all 3 shows this week. He's not part-time. He's back. And, all right. Well, congratulations.
I mean, Michael J. Putty, to your point, I do have to commend the WWE in the fact that I may have not been happy with the outcome of the Men's Royal Rumble, but I do like what they're doing with Edge host Royal Rumble, making him a believable threat to all the champions out there, not just, what you would have expected from the beginning and saying that, it would have been Roman Reigns versus Edge.
Going back to what you posted on our Instagram, our good friend Joey Sweetcheeks, who was holding down the chat room for us during our live show last week. Thank you, Joey. He said, if you think about it, could you say the same thing about Orton, Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins, Strowman, and a few others? So no matter who won, this statement stinks. Well said, Joey. Well said.
Are these the same people who were upset?
Let me cut you off. Craig.Damien24 agrees with you. Mason7221 definitely agrees with you.
Absolutely.
AJAXLP. I assume this is sarcasm and move on. So, yeah, we had a lot of mixed reviews. People agree with you, Abel, though.
There's smart people out there, and there's not so much smart people. I don't want to call you dumb, but if the shoe fits, then wear it.
AJ Pan, you just called you dumb.
But here's the thing. This goes back to divide in wrestling fans. It's a little bit of an argument that me and Abel were having. I think there are fans that just like to see in-ring action, and that's it. And there are fans out there of wrestling that love to see a story. And I think if you're all about telling a story, if that's what you want to see, then this was a great Royal Rumble for you. If you want to see just a lot of flips in the ring and just a lot of good action, maybe this Royal Rumble wasn't for you as far as who won.
Yeah.
My 2 cents.
Well said.
Very true. Very true. Well said.
Putty, when you get your takedown for the Royal Rumble, what was it for you?
I agree. Both Rumbles were amazing. Thought the whole show, top to bottom, was awesome. I figured both you would talk about both Rumbles. But how about that last man standing match between Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens? What an awesome match that was. They took full advantage of the whole area. A lot of big spots. A lot of memorable moments. And one moment I don't think I'll ever forget was
Amen.
Kevin Owens getting run over by that golf cart out of nowhere. And it's just talking about what a great mind Roman Reigns has for the business right now. He was handcuffed to the pole. Referee was about to call him out, and he knocked the referee out because Paul Heyman couldn't get the keys out in time.
Yes. So good.
So when the new referee came out,
Totally noticed that.
not only was he counting as he was getting to the mid, I think about 5 or 6, I think 6 or 7, one of the referees just stopped the count for some reason. Roman Reigns squatted. So technically he was standing. So that explained why the referee stopped his count, because technically his feet were on the ground. He was technically standing.
Yeah.
And if he stood on the ground, like sitting like he was, it would have made no sense. It would have been stupid. Like the fans would have been like, what the fuck's going on here? But he was smart enough to realize, if I stay like this, it's going to fuck it up. So let me squat so my feet are on the ground. And the commentary caught it. Referee caught it. I think it was a smart move by Roman Reigns, and just proves that he deserves the position he's at.
No, definitely. Ring savvy. He knows.
I think they were all improvising. A lot of good improvisation by all of them.
Totally. And, main event. He's a main event guy for a reason.
Yeah.
But my question is right now with this. It was a very good match. Great way to end it. I thought that was going to be the end of the rivalry.
So did I.
SmackDown.
Yeah.
We see Kevin Owens come out and give Roman Reigns a stunner. What's going on here? Does this feud, is it ever going to end?
I guess not. Usually there's 3 matches.
Fight forever.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. They have great matches, great chemistry together. I would not mind it to carry over till Fastlane? I think Chambers next, and then Fastlane. We have 2 more events before WrestleMania. I don't know what's going to happen.
Sure.
They can't wrestle both of them. So
You don't think Edge should be in a triple threat with any of the champions and another person? It should just be a one-on-one?
Yeah, 1-on-1.
Yeah. Me too.
Or does Owens face Randy Orton? Not Randy Orton, Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Could we see that?
No.
I think a lot of fans would be disappointed if that were the case.
Yeah.
A lot of pissed off fans.
So Royal Rumble overall, great show, great matches, and just quickly that Carmella dive, and she landed totally on her face, and she just got back up like a champion. Good for you, Carmella.
She's tough. She's very tough.
And you saw Sasha Banks checking her right away because she knew she fucked up.
Yeah.
So it could have been a lot worse. So happy she's okay, and happily thank God for adrenaline, right, folks? Jesus.
It goes a long way.
Any final thoughts about the Rumble before we move on to TV?
No, man. I think we talked about the Royal Rumble quite a bit. I'm ready to move on to TV.
Green Man, the floor is yours.
Gentlemen, now with the Wednesday Night Wars in play, AEW continues to knock it out of the park with the debut, the insertion of this new connection going on in the world of professional wrestling. Kenta attacks Jon Moxley to go out with AEW Dynamite. Now we have Impact Wrestling, AEW, and New Japan Pro Wrestling.
And NWA.
And NWA. People say, what is it going to take? What's it going to take to get the WWE out of business? How about if all their competition just gets together and fights the good fight?
Yeah, so it's WWE versus the world pretty much right now. I was watching this. I'm like, man, I was doing the math. I'm like, man, this is like every major promotion. And you have to factor in the indies as well. A lot of indies are working with AEW, sending talents over there. It is WWE against the world pretty much right now. It's a lot of competition. But is this yet still enough? Is this enough to take down WWE?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think that AEW right now is thinking of taking down WWE. I do think that the people who are at the helm of AEW, who are working with New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, NWA, all of these people are really looking at how can we put the best product out there. And, each promotion has great talent, and it literally feels like I'm a little kid and putting WCW wrestlers versus my WWF wrestlers. And, there's no company lines. Let's just go for it. And I love it. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan.
I feel like this is back in the territory days in a way. When like you have different talents kind of go on loan to a different territory, if you will, and that's what I'm getting the sense of right here, like back to the good old days of wrestling, when that was the case. It's pretty cool to see, man. We haven't gotten to experience that at all. I know some of the older fans, this is probably giving them nostalgia here as far as that goes, but I kind of get the sense, and this is the comic book nerd here coming out, of like, WWE being Thanos, and then every other promotion kind of being like the Avengers, and they're assembling right now. That's what I'm getting the sense of.
See, I think the exact opposite. I saw a meme of Tony Khan as Thanos.
Oh,
and the Infinity Gauntlet, the Infinity Stones. It was AEW, Impact, New Japan, and now NWA.
Right.
So that's what, 4 Infinity Stones? You throw in the Indies, that's 5. There's only one more left. WWE. Just imagine if all 6 stones come together.
Or
that'd be great.
Wow.
There's another promotion out there. There's MLW, or they go ROH. They could team up with them.
ROH, yeah.
I mean, like, there's talent on both of those rosters there.
AAA.
Mexico,
yeah.
Like, there's no way in hell AEW will ever partner up with WWE.
No.
I don't see WWE partnering up, playing nice with any promotion. And I think if they look back in the day, history will always repeat itself. Anytime territories try to work with WWE, how well did that work out? Handshake agreement. Hey, we're not going to compete with you guys. Hey, we just got a contract, USA. Fuck you.
I think the way that WWE makes deals with other promotions is they just take their wrestlers. Before they sign someone, they take them right underneath their nose. That's how so many people ended up with contracts in the WWE and NXT, is because the WWE was trying to prevent them from being signed into AEW. Killer Kross, I am sure without a doubt, had a contract of the WWE in one hand and a contract from AEW in the other one, and had to make a decision of where he was going to go. Okay.
Even AJ Styles, when he had to renew his contract, I mean, AEW was knocking.
Yeah. So there's a lot of the great thing about what AEW and the rest of the professional wrestling industry is doing outside of the WWE is that, they're working together and they're creating this new model that we're not used to seeing of working together to provide a better product. And how WWE is building their superstars in NXT and building them to the main roster and keeping everything internal. AEW is kind of opening it up more and saying, our internal is a lot broader than just this NXT division. Our internal is all of independent wrestling, all of the other promotions out there, and that they build their star through AEW Dark, and then they go to AEW Dynamite.
And I have to say, another cool thing that we're not talking about with this, you have a lot of different members or former members of the Bullet Club spread out in these different promotions.
That's huge.
It's huge. And like, you even heard them mention Bullet Club on AEW as they close off the show, because obviously they have some sort of relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling. So now they're going to be allowed to use that. That'll be huge, man.
But the current Bullet Club is saying this is bullshit and like a fake Bullet Club. Yeah, the real Bullet Club. So the Bullet Club in Japan.
Kenta is part of the Bullet Club, the current Bullet Club, as far as I know.
I lose track.
We also mentioned how horrible WWE has managed talent like Kenta, so many other talent who have left the WWE already, but yet have now gone into the AEW realm and become who they were meant to be, like these main event stars. Like Kenta, dude, the guy would be lucky if he got a spot in 205 Live in the WWE.
Yeah.
And this guy right now is straight up on the high tier of the main event picture. You have someone like Pac, when he left the WWE, the dude was a main eventer. Austin Aries left the WWE, was a main eventer. That's why I say that John Morrison, the only reason he's in the WWE right now is because he needs a little break from the wrestling and wants to just collect a nice paycheck. But when he left, he was the top of the independent scene.
Oh, totally. 1,000%.
Main eventing everywhere he went.
And just look at what's going on with Brian Myers in Impact. He's putting on great matches week in and week out. He's not the main event player just yet. But I think if he keeps going this route, maybe within a year, maybe two, he'll definitely be there. And Austin Myers, Brian Myers, had that 200 match losing streak in WWE?
Yeah. Well, the difference is, so WWE is more focused on entertainment as opposed to the other wrestling promotions. I mean, yes, AEW does have that entertainment factor in there, Impact to a degree as well, but I would say as a whole, they're more wrestling focused than WWE.
Which I love that line Edge said on NXT. He goes, where I come from, we focus on the E. But here in NXT, everyone knows you focus on the second W. And which is true. We talk about it week in and week out. NXT is better, second to none in-ring talent. And the wrestling is phenomenal in NXT right now.
And actually, I want to segue into that promo right there was actually my takedown of the week. Edge, when he came on to NXT, granted, didn't do enough with the ratings to compete with AEW, but yet it was a hell of a promo that he cut. It actually made me believe for a second, like, wait, could we see Edge compete for the NXT championship at the WrestleMania? We all know it's going to be him versus Roman Reigns. They keep on saying that over and over again, but this is making me have second thoughts here. Well, why are they even doing this? Was this just a cheap ploy for ratings, or like, is there something more here to this?
A cheap ploy for ratings, which obviously didn't work. But I realized, like, Edge versus Finn Balor, I never thought of, but like after that promo, like, do I want to see this match? Fuck yeah, I do. Holy crap! Yeah. Okay. And he even said in the promo himself, like, this is the one thing I haven't gotten yet. Okay. I didn't believe Charlotte Flair was NXT champion, and she was. I definitely see Edge as an NXT champion.
I think they're doing a good job. Again, their post-Royal Rumble shows and the way they're working Edge to spotlight the champions in each division is very smart. It also, this is, I would say, the second year that they're doing it, where they're including NXT as one of those titles to get. You know, long gone are the days where, you know, you used to have to work to get your name up in NXT before you made it to the main roster. I think NXT is very much at par with a Raw and SmackDown at this point.
Yeah. I mean, NXT from start to finish was very good this past week. Very, very good. A lot of great in-ring action. The Dusty Rhodes Classic for men and women.
The girls are killing it.
The girls are absolutely fucking killing it.
The girls in NXT. Oh, dude. Big Mommy Cool. I'm all about that.
Big Mommy Cool.
Casey and Caden, even though they lost, put up a hell of a show. She's
amazing. She's gotten a lot better in the past year.
They just got the bad luck on that draw. I'd like to see that in the finals, but
I'm actually really a lot more excited about the women's Dusty Rhodes Classics than I have been about any of the other men's Dusty Rhodes. Yeah.
Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa just pairing up randomly. I'm like, okay, you're probably going to win now. Even though
good match, though. It's a very good match.
Even though the Rascals should win.
Do you think the only reason that the Rascals were signed was because that flippy move that they do?
No, I think it was more than that.
Because their finisher, I feel like they've done it a couple times on Impact, but for some reason, I just feel it's so like overly spotlighted on the WWE.
Only those two matches? Yeah. It definitely draws your eyes to them, but they back it up with everything else. So if there was just that one move, they wouldn't do it, but they back it up with everything else. So
they do. They're a solid team. They're getting a good shine on NXT right now, so good for them. But dude, Edge. I mean, hell, could be a possibility. Don't know. I mean, for all we know, it's not the first time they've thrown like swerves out in the dirt sheets. So maybe this is a swerve right here. Maybe there could be something more of this. They know they're going to get their ass handed to them every single time in the ratings. Their ratings are consistently in the 600s. So having Edge on just to try to get a ratings pop, I don't think so. I think there might be something more. They tease it with Finn Balor. They tease something with Pete Dunne. Nice moment there with both of them, by the way. And also you had that teaser with Karrion Kross, which is a match I never knew I wanted to see, but now I do.
I have two takedowns. I had one, which is going to surprise you, but then I watched tonight the triple threat IC championship match between Sami Zayn, Big E, and Apollo Crews. Action-packed. I thought showcased all three men's potential. I thought it was a great match, beginning to end, very entertaining to watch.
That was a damn good match, man. I was surprised by that, by triple threat. Apollo Crews stepping up his game. Big E, though, man, he's a dominant Intercontinental Champion. Like, who do you think is going to be his opponent at WrestleMania?
I hope they give him an opponent, not one of those like ladder matches like they've done in the past.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think that would suit him very well.
No, I don't see anyone in the roster right now, storyline wise, who match up to him right now. So we'll just wait. Give me a couple more weeks and I'll answer that question.
Okay.
But my other one, Mark, is going to surprise you for the first time ever. I'm going to go with AEW here.
Ooh.
Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa. What a match that was.
Damn good match. Damn good match.
Not only was it a good match, it was given a decent amount of time for a non-title match. It was I think she's well on her way becoming AEW champion within a couple months. It was just what a
Britt
match
Baker?
that was. Yeah.
And then what's the deal with Thunder Rosa? Is she signed to AEW or what?
I was going to ask you that. I don't think she is. I've not seen that little graphic they post. Thunder Rosa is all elite.
Because listen, Putty, I'm not going to argue with you. Britt Baker, Dr. Britt Baker, has been
The face of the division.
improving week after week
Yes.
after week after week. Just when you think she can't get any better, she does. You're right. She is the face of that division. She's someone that should carry that strap very soon. But Thunder Rosa is another name to watch too. If they haven't signed her, they should, because I feel like she could bring a lot of potential to that roster to help, bring it together more. Because there's a lot of critiques for that women's roster. I get it, but I feel like they've been getting better, and they could work off of a fundamental, the foundation, if you will, of having Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker in there. And then you have some other talents come in. You up the games of Chris Statlander when she comes back, or Nyla Rose, or Anna Jay, or whoever. What do you think, Abel?
I think that AEW is playing it slow with the women's division. I think they're very smart in the people that they put in charge, and Brandy Rhodes by creating like that chat room with the wrestling heels and getting all the women who like professional wrestling on that platform. I think they're just slowly building a different type of fan base to the women's division. They're not targeting the male demographic. They're really trying to build a women's culture in AEW. So I think a few more years down the line, we'll probably be singing a different tune about the AEW women's division.
The way they're going, yeah, they're playing long game, 1,000%.
Also, just quickly on AEW, was like, that wedding boring? Like, I know wrestling weddings are supposed to be like chaotic and like not go as planned, but I just thought that wedding fell flat and didn't deliver. Like, I'm not well versed in that rivalry going on, but I'm like, this wasn't a good wedding. And James Mitchell out of nowhere, he could have put anybody. There was no reason for him to be there. He didn't do anything. Just hire an actor off the fucking street if they're going to do that. But I thought the wedding wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be.
And I'm very disappointed on how they're using Miro.
Yeah.
Like,
But
this guy was Rusev Day.
It's
This
crazy.
guy was ready to be the head of the table in WWE.
Now that the wedding is over, he's no longer the best man. Does this give him a chance to shine, or is he stuck in this feud going on between Orange Cassidy and the other guy?
I'm not too sure. Miro has shown some flashes in AEW during his brief stint there. He's definitely having a lot more fun.
Yeah, but he was the best
way
man
he's doing.
leading up to this wedding. Now the wedding's over.
I mean, obviously something has to change, of course.
Yeah.
What direction does he go? I mean, what character shift will there be? That I'm not too sure, but I think it's too soon to say that Miro on AEW is a bust person.
Oh, no one's saying that. No one's saying that.
He's shown flashes, so I'm curious to see what happens next.
Maybe he could extend his best manship beyond the wedding.
Maybe it's best man service.
Yeah.
Yes, a best man service. Every time I need a best man, I still call my best man, Michael J. Putty.
Yep. Anyway, anything else for TV before we move on?
No, that is it.
I'm good.
All right, gentlemen, let's get some go-home thoughts. Abel, it's been a while since you've been here. Any go-home thoughts for you, my friend?
Just always like being part of the show, like following you guys on social media. Well, where is that again? At Shot of Wrestling on Instagram and Facebook,
Twitter,
YouTube. There's now a new show coming out, which I love to see all the new things that's going on A Shot of Wrestling. Shout out to the Boulevard Bullies, who just got some new shirts out at their merch store at Big Cartel and Pro Wrestling Tees. Shout out to our boys at Wrestling IQ and Rap and Wrestle. They just scored a big interview with the living legend, Larry Zbyszko.
That's awesome.
So my boy Derek killing it over there. Shout out to Bob Bob Culture's podcast, who's doing some great things. I don't know if you noticed that he's been hosting a show with our girl Vicky for 80s Wrestling when they do their wrestling signings.
Pre-shows, yeah.
I have seen that, yeah.
Awesome.
So I love the success that everybody is having in our wrestling community. I think when we started this journey, what it's going to be 5 years now ago.
3 weeks.
It's
3 weeks away.
This was not the landscape that we entered at all. You know, podcast was really something that not many people were listening to, and it's gotten to the point where now everybody has a podcast. But the really good ones out there, the really good ones that are grinding day to day to make sure that they provide content, to make sure that they are there for the wrestling community, to let you know about these wrestlers and these wrestling promotions and everything that's going on out there, and being able to provide something for someone who may not know that much about independent wrestling or may not know that much about wrestling in general. And they just tune into our show maybe once a week, once a month, once every quarter, once every year, and just gets to know a little bit more about it is great. So props to all the wrestling community, all the podcasts out there who are doing their thing and, making sure that what we're doing as a podcast community also is not seen as a joke. It's taken very seriously because it's not easy to put a podcast out and to put one out as long as Michael J has been doing it. So thank you for being the Iron Horse of A Shot of Wrestling, Michael J. Putty.
My pleasure. Thank you. Marcus.
Go fuck yourself, Putty.
I will. Give me 5 more minutes. No problem.
Average Mark Schwann.
Yeah, just the average guy here.
All talk on delivers.
I really don't have much to say. I mean, how did I follow up with what Abel just said there? Meantime, guys, we do have to wrap up here. You can find me. All my social media links are on my website, yourfavoriteactor.com. Putty, floor is yours.
Okay, I guess I'll do your job for you. Make sure you check out our YouTube because Mark has a new show coming out interviewing Eric Jayden. Yeah, in the beginning of the show, it's called Bring It Home, Mark. In the business, we call it like Bring It Home.
Bring it home. Get to the point.
Marcus interviewed our good godfather of the show, Eric Jayden, talking about the Tattoo Squad, his career, and of course his battle with cancer, which came very close to a losing battle, but now he's fighting. So look forward to that interview on our YouTube page. What's Hollywood Corner?
Hollywood's Corner.
What a shitty name.
Fuck off.
Green Man, thanks for coming back, buddy.
So it's been a pleasure, gentlemen. Truly a pleasure.
5 years. 5 years. Do you believe that? 5 years. Amazing. Well, 2.5 for you, I guess. But anyway. So for Green Man, Mr. Abel Villamar, Mark Schwann, I have been your host at Michael J. Putty.
You didn't even spell my last name right. Mark Schwann.
Mark Chosen?
There he goes.
I'm reading it. I don't get your last name.
Oh my God.
Above average, Mark Schwann?
Below.
Better than the rest.
Average.
Hollywood assassin.
This week, average. I've been your host at Michael J. Putty. Until next week. Putty, yep.
Hey, baby, I hear the bell ringing, hip tosses and body slams. Oh, my. And maybe you seem a bit confused. Yeah, baby, but I got you pinned. Ha, 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 ha. But I don't know what to do when I see them with that golden case. They're cashing it in. Authority all in my face. What is a man to do? Good night, everybody.